Hi, my name is Dan Golden, and I've been asked to make this video because for many years people have been asking me the legend of Nevalite. And so thank you for inquiring about Nevalite. As you know, you can reach us at 760-929-9090, or you can just go to nevalite.com. We'll also email you or provide copies of books if you'd like to purchase some books about healing mineral clays, of which Nevalite is the rarest form of mineral clay. In our opinion, the reason is it's white and not brown, because it's absolutely pure from high in the mountains, and not the stuff that's called bentonite that is also a form of mineral clay that goes to the lower elevations. And now, with no further ado, here is the legend of Nevalite. I'm a telephone man, and I own a telephone company called Golden Telecom in Oceanside, California. 5 years ago, my employee, Joe, was putting this white powder in his water at the break area, and I'm the kind of guy that notices things around me. And I said, Joe, is that Alka-Seltzer? What's that powder you're putting in your water? He says, oh, it's Nevalite. I go, well, what does it do? And he says, oh, it calms down my ulcer. And I said, well, you're 26 years old. You have an ulcer? He says, yeah, I've got personal issues, and I have an ulcer. And I said, oh, okay, well, where'd you get this white powder from? He says, from my father-in-law, who reopened the old mine to heal my wife, his daughter's melanoma skin cancer. I go, wait a minute, what is this? And he says, well, it's a really rare form of calcium mineralite clay that the Indians used to heal things. And I said, well, can you tell me about it? He says, no, why don't you call Danny, my father-in-law, and he'll tell you about it. So I called Danny. I says, well, before we go any further, I says, I would like to meet you at the mine, because I hear lots of things about bridges and buildings and mines that don't exist, that people spend a lot of time and money on to only find out it's nothing true. He says, fine, I'll meet you at Searchlight. So a week later, I'm standing up in Searchlight, meeting Danny with my four-wheel drive, went bucking across the desert out in the middle of nowhere where there's no roads, and there's actually no signs of any buildings and pretty much no signs of anything. And we went out and we parked our car next to this a very large hill. It's in a mountain range, but it itself is a hill next to a plateau. And I noticed my feet were like sinking in the ground like sponge, and my skin was feeling kind of prickly, and I go, what is this? And he says, well, it's the tailings of Nevalite from when my father-in-law used to mine it, and but he wouldn't sell this because it's impure, it's mixed with dirt. And I says, well, tell me about how your father-in-law found it. I'm sorry, your father. It was Joe's father-in-law. Tell me how your father found it. He says, well, in 1945, he was a gambler here in Searchlight, and it was raining on February 1945. This miner came walking to town, and gambler's name is Lucky Jim. Lucky Jim went up to the gambler and says, to the miner, and said, you know, have you been faking having arthritis in your knees? Because you're walking perfectly straight, and we're not going to give you any more money to help you out and grub stake you and all that stuff if you really don't have arthritis. And the guy says, no, it's been raining, I've been melting this white powder stuff out in the desert, and now my knees don't hurt anymore. He goes, oh, really? Well, okay, can you take me out there and show me where this is at? And the miner said, sure. So they went out in the desert, and Lucky Jim says, man, it's weird, my feet are sinking like sponge here. He says, yeah. He says, it's kind of weird, huh? And he says, yeah. He says, well, how much do you want for your claim? And the miner says, I don't want anything for my claim. There ain't no gold here. I'll sign over to you for free. He says, great. So Lucky Jim took the white powder that was laying all over the place there, and to some local Indians. There's no more Indians anymore. They moved to Las Vegas to become casino dealers. Anyway, and the Indian says, oh, the secret of the medicine man mine died with the last medicine man, because he wouldn't allow anyone else from the tribe to go there, saying it was spongy ground and it was magic, and we would trample it and ruin the magic. And he says, it's been lost for many years. And he says, well, what do you use this for? And they go, pretty much everything. He says, when we go hunting, we didn't go putting on fierce war makeup to go hunting. He says, that's sunblock. Mix the Nevalite with water, put it on your face, and you don't get a sunburn. If you get a sunburn that doesn't heal, which I think talking melanoma skin cancer, you mix it with aloe or just water, and put it on and put a lettuce leaf over it. Let it soak in really good. And in a month or two, your sore that won't heal is all healed, like many other things. And common cold, you mix it with water, warm water, and sniff it. and it absorbs the virus, and cold's gone in 1 or 2 days instead of a week. And Lucky Jim says, well, okay, so between 1945 and the early 60s, Lucky Jim marketed it and did quite well at cancer alternative clinics and in pill form, which I found is really not a good idea. It's better to take it without pills. And he died, and the family he had left the family, and they really didn't have much to do with him because he left the family in a not pleasant circumstance. So the mine lay abandoned till Danny's daughter got melanoma skin cancer, and he reopened the mine to treat the cancer. And I think they've been going out there as a place to go camping, and then when she got married to Joe, and Joe's putting it in his water, and that's how I found it. And that's a legend Nevalite. Now I made a deal to acquire the mine. Turned out they hadn't had a claim in years. They thought if you just worked it, that made the claim active. Not true. You have to pay the BLM a maintenance fee. So the maintenance fee's paid up, and everything's good to go. And I bottle it like this, and it's a powder. We sell it by different names, but always Nevalite. And now I'm going to tell you some of the uses for Nevalite, and what I've discovered in the last 5 years about what it is about Nevalite. Now you can call me and ask me how to use it. We have a brochure right here that we'll be glad to send you. And there's also books. This one's called The Healing Clay. It has the mine in it. A lady called me about migraine headaches from Florida, and that's how we even discovered there was a book. And then by looking at books from The Healing Clays, The Clay Cure by Rand Kaninsky will be in his next edition, and in fact he's going to have this video. And these books are available, obviously, to purchase, and or get hold of us, and we'll put you in, and we'll send copies or whatever to you. Okay, so what is it about what is it that Nevalite does? What is it doesn't do? It doesn't do, it won't heal a mole. It won't heal any natural condition that you have, but it will heal unnatural conditions. What's an unnatural condition? An unnatural condition is a virus, a fungus, or a bacteria. And because of that, I will tell you how it does it so that you know it's not magic, it's not a miracle. It is a fine 42 trace mineral, pure mineral calcium montmorillonite. And what it does is it breaks down so fast in water that when you put it on your skin, whether internal or external, it goes right through the skin structure, and the blood goes up to get the minerals. Our blood doesn't have the minerals it needs anymore because while our vegetables look pretty, they're nice and colorful, orange and red and yellow. They lack minerals because minerals are something that can't be replaced. Minerals, iron, zinc, gold, silver, trace minerals, calcium. These are absorbed by the body only in trace forms. If you take pills, they won't work, just passes it. So you have to take them in small quantities mixed with a juice or water, and almost 50 to 1. In fact, I recommend internally a teaspoon with 6 to 8 ounces in a flavored drink, not carbonated, and shake it up and drink it quickly because it's a mineral. It goes to the bottom. And what it does, it coats your internal parts with this very thin mineral clay. You don't take it in pill form, which is what Lucky Jim did, but he was mistaken. It's better just to squish it around, especially before you go to bed at night, an hour between meals or any kind of medication so it won't absorb them. So there's nothing in your system. And what it does, it coats your system. So those people that have heartburn at night, irritable bowel syndrome, gas, and for a woman who would like to have their husbands not be so offensive after dinner, after eating those fried onions mixed with, salsa and maybe a few burritos, it will stop the gas within 15 to 20 minutes. And if there's any gas left, it won't smell. And so that's pretty cool. But just take it before you go to bed. The more important thing it does is puts minerals into the bloodstream, coats your entire digestive tract, and for people with irritable bowel syndrome, then that is a very good thing, and acid reflux action, heartburn, bad gas. For more serious conditions, you must consult a physician. Right now, Dr. Drucker at Center for Advanced Medicine and Encinitas will change for things like colitis. My daughter uses it in conjunction with herbs and a diet change and exercise.